What's up? Hey, everybody, and welcome to Purple Couch Conversations. Okay, y'all know I be playing around doing silly stuff with your host, Kal Marshell. There we go. So, as you guys can see tonight, I am doing something different. Usually we're in all black, but since I am not going to church this Sunday, I decided to dress up for you guys. See that? And do something a little bit different. So we have on this like psychedelic thing. I hope I don't end up bleeding into my screen. But yeah, we're gonna have fun tonight. So tonight's show. Oh, let's just keep it 100. I want to first thank you guys for tuning in to the Purple Couch Conversations. First off, let me say happy April Fool's Day. Okay? First day of April, and we're doing something totally different that I have never done. Since this is April Fool's Day and this is Good Friday Eve, that means this Sunday is going to be Easter. And we're having two celebrations in one episode today. Last month, we spoke about topics that focused on women, and today it's all about the fellas. Like tonight, I'm bringing in the homies. So I have two amazing guests. It's almost like having a hero night, but when I mean like hero, I'm not saying like hero like Superman, but like he rose he rose again. Aha, gotcha. And that's about what we were at. Yeah, that's really what I was trying to go for. I think there's there we go. Okay, we got it. Okay, there we go. So today's guests, we have two of gospel's hottest new and up and coming stars. Both are climbing the charts and riding the radio waves throughout our country and our world. These young men have taken their talents and gifts and utilized them to inspire others through inspirational music on a global scale. And while they are touring the world and they are changing views and points, they decided to graciously come and take a moment with me on the Purple Couch. So first off, I want to say thank you to our first guest of the evening, Mr. Geoffrey Golden. Let's give him a hand, guys. I know you guys are there. I know you guys here. Here we go. Let's come on. So, see, this is technology. Here we go. How are you, Mr. Geoffrey Golden?
Doing all right, Brother Kyle. How are you, man?
I am doing well. So for all of you all who have been watching, you all are pretty clear that I've had singers on here, but none of them have been gospel singers. Hey, so we have a gospel Christian artist, our first one ever in Purple Couch Conversation history. Thank you, Geoffrey, for coming.
Thank you, man. It's an honor. Appreciate the invitation, man.
Man, so let's start this off right. Tonight's episode is about inspiration. People who have been inspiring others, people who are inspiring to others. And the first question I have for you this evening would be, well, first off, let me say, before we even get into questions, I'm just so ready to go in. Clearly, you guys see, I'm like still nervous. You guys, I got this guy here. Mr. Golden, let me tell you, Geoffrey Golden is a Sunday best, not winner, but champion. He kicked nothing but tail on that show. And so with that being the case, from Geoffrey Golden winning Sunday's Best till today, there have been a lot of stories I'm sure that have happened in between. And we're going to try to get in between all of them if we can, okay? But the first thing that I'm going to ask you is, how do you stay inspired to continue to do music?
Wow. Man, thank you for that question. To be honest with you, Kyle, I was just reading a scripture today in Hebrews chapter 12. And what it's basically teaching us is that the way that we run our race is that we have to continuously look to Jesus Christ. And man, fixing my eyes on Jesus is the way that I can keep going, man. Because to be honest with you, bro, I absolutely love ministry. I absolutely love being a gospel artist. But sometimes industry can be a little uninspiring, if that makes sense. Sometimes industry can at times be even discouraging. And so for me, man, it's a thing of always remembering my why it is that I do music, man. Everybody has their own calling and their own purpose. But man, my purpose is to literally help people to see Jesus through everything that I sing, everything that I preach, man. And so I can't help people see Christ if I'm not constantly beholding Christ myself. And so that's how, that's how I try to stay motivated, man, just as it relates to this calling, man. And so what does that look like, man? It looks like me praying, looks like me uh reading scripture, man. Looks like listening to sermons, you know what I'm saying? It looks like me even connecting with mentors who, when everybody else is praising me, they can say, yeah, we see X, Y, and Z in your life and it ain't too hot, you know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
those are some of the ways, man. And I would say that one of the biggest ways, man, that I've learned in this season of how I can stay looking to Christ is to also love my wife, man, and to just serve and honor her, because scripture even teaches us that, like, literally through the example of the husband and the wife, that's how the world can see the love that Christ has for his church. So yeah, man, that's how I stay inspired.
Awesome. No, so with your inspiration, being inspired, we all have a team of supporters who sort of kind of push us through. For me, I've had people from my family, my mom, my aunts, my cousins, to, friends and people I've met. With my support team, I couldn't have made it to where I've made it to without the people who've been here with me, for me, all this time. Because of that, I personally love giving the supporters a little bit of support. So my next question for you is there anybody in your support team that has been there that you definitely want to call out and give a hey from Purple Couch Conversation? Yes.
Wow, man. Thank you for that, man. I would say absolutely, man. My wife, she's amazing. She has supported me in so many ways, man. And one of the things that I love the most about what God has given us, man, we have this space where literally we can tell each other anything. And I mean, nobody knows me like she does. And when I say the good, the bad, and the super duper ugly, I mean the super duper ugly stuff is like, you told your wife that? You know what I'm saying? Well, yes, because yes, we're, lovers. I'm saying, man, yes, we are in a covenant relationship as husband and wife, but we're also best friends. And that's also a source for me, again, when I talk about staying humble, you know what I'm saying? Like literally being able to have conversations with my wife, man. So I definitely have to shout her out, man. Also have to shout out, man.
Hold on, what's wife's name? She got a name. She more than wife. Wife.
Yeah, man. Her name is Rebecca. Rebecca B. Golden. Yeah. So
Golden.
yeah, man. And we actually just had a baby, man, 3 months ago. Yes,
Congratulations.
Ava is here. And
hey, Ava.
She also keeps me going, keeps me on my toes, you know what I'm saying? But man, if I can also shout out though, also, man, my parents and like, because literally, bro,
call her by name.
You
call her by name.
Yeah, man. Yes, sir. So so my father, Kevin Golden, my mother, Beverly Golden, they literally, man, like Bible talks about train up a child in the way they should go. When they're old, they won't depart from it. And that is so true, man. Like I saw my parents just love people so much, like leading the church that I grew up in. My dad was the pastor there almost 30 years. And there are days that I remember he and my mom would get out of bed 2:30 a.m. because there was somebody who needed them, who was in a crisis, man. And so even just seeing their example is one of those other things that just, keeps me motivated, man, because they didn't have a stage, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They weren't known by, people all across the country, but they were faithful. And I think that's what we need in our generation. We just need to be faithful, man, whether people see us or not.
Definitely. You got me thinking, because I want to ask you questions that aren't written down, just because I'm like, oh, you're getting me to go. We're gonna have to get you back on. Man, but yes, sir. With you saying be faithful, a lot of times people in life go through things, and your faith is tested, your faith is sort of kind of pushed and tried. With you being in our current pandemic era, I think people forget a lot of times what life used to be like,
Mm.
which isn't a bad thing, because for some, this is because it has made people a little bit more considerate, a little bit more compassionate, and it's also inspired people to have a little bit more faith, a little bit more hope. Before the pandemic, though, you won Sunday's Best. Before you won, though, you had to audition. You had to have the faith to go there. And so I know you had faith to believe that you were going to make it, but before your faith kicked in, what inspired you to actually want to go to Sunday's Best, to say, I feel like I actually have an opportunity?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. So really what it was is when I was maybe 12 or 13, man, is when Sunday Best first came out.
Same here.
So like literally, man, that was like a pastime for my family. And so Sundays after church, we would come home, we would watch this show, man. And it was incidentally also around the same time where I really started to realize, like, yeah, I think I want to sing for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? And so those things were kind of happening simultaneously. So Sunday Best was always my favorite. Every single year I was following it. I was not missing an episode, bro. Like literally. And so when I got old enough, I was now 18 years old. I was a freshman at Morehouse College. It was like, okay, well, let me just go. And so it was one of my close friends. We actually went together. And literally now, this is 2013. I didn't make it past the preliminary audition round. And so I didn't even get to the main judges to hear them say yes or no. I didn't get past the opening room that you go to when you first there, crack of dawn, you know what I'm saying? 6 a.m., right?
I've been there.
And so literally there was a disappointment that was there, because I knew that this is what I believed I was called to do, and this is what I would be doing for the rest of my life. But man, if I can just put a note here, what I think God taught me through that whole situation is that your purpose is not defined by your platform. And so whether you have 5 people who hear you or 5 million, it's about purpose, because you don't know if those 5 who you touch are literally 5 lives that you just saved because of your music, because of your ministry, because of what was on the inside of you. And so what matters more, 5 million people who like your song, or 5 people whose lives are changed because they heard it? And so so God even just showed me that. And so literally when I went back the next year, it's like, okay, well, am I going to go back? Am I going to try this again? I didn't get past the first round last time, right? And so, you know, it's thousands of people. What are the odds that I even make it to the main judges? And then what are the odds that I actually make it to the top 20? What are the odds that I could actually win the whole thing? But literally, man, I went, stood in the line again, got to that same opening room, and this time I got a yes. Got in front of the main judges, and then they said yes. And then a few weeks later, they called and said, you made it to the top 20. And I'm like, oh, Lord, I don't know what's happening now. And then, man, literally just navigated week by week and just saw, I'm like, oh, my goodness. And I think that experience, while God was showing me I don't need a platform to do what he's called me to do, I think he was also showing me there was more in me than I thought there was. Because to be honest, man, I didn't think in a million years I could have won that show. I mean, to be honest with you, even in my season, I mean, the vocalists who were there, who were incredible, I mean, powerful, anointed. And I heard them and I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing here.
I got a question. Who did you meet there? Who you are still in contact with?
From the contestants?
Both ends.
Got you. Yeah, man. So to be honest, man, so of course, most of all, Kirk Franklin, because actually once I won the show, I was signed to his label for about 1.5 years. And so the first album thank you, man. So the first album that we did was actually with Kirk Franklin's label. So I still, we'll still chat, every now and then, you know what I'm saying? And so
and I'm not gonna go to the question that everybody wants me to go to. I know what y'all want me to ask this man. I'm not asking him about nobody else's personal life. Just clear it up real quick, so don't nobody think this ain't that. Because people are asking about Kirk Franklin and stuff right now.
But Kyle, can I say this though?
Oh, okay. Come on, talk on me.
Let me say this. As somebody who, now again, you know, Kirk isn't my father. Kirk isn't my uncle. You know, I mean, I call him Unc. You know what I'm saying?
He's a
But
colleague.
you know, it's not like I've known him for my whole life. But the time that I have known this man, he, like, I know people have all these ideas when you're on the outside looking in, but when I tell y'all, this man is literally one of the most genuine, humble, authentic people that you will ever meet. And so I know people have what they think, and from what they saw and from what they heard from all of that. And I'm not saying the man is perfect. Nobody is perfect, but what I can say is that, and I don't want to make any comparisons, but what I will say is Kirk Franklin is one of the most genuine people I have ever met in the industry, and also one of the most humble, one of the most willing
Okay.
to admit he has flaws. I mean, I'm telling you, like, literally, I learned more from Kirk's example, the example of the man he was, than I even learned from his musicality and his artistry. And so that's just my story with Kirk
Wow.
Franklin. That's my honest truth. And I hope that it helps somebody to have perspective, so you see more than just what you hear on social media.
You know, okay, so y'all, I see it. I wasn't going to go about Kirk Franklin at all. He was off my, I promised my producer I would not talk about Kirk Franklin. Producer, I love you, Whitney. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna, you done got me caught up in the drama. Okay, here we go. I actually want to say thank you for sharing that. See, they thought I was gonna go sideways. I'm not. I'm not. I want to say thank you so much for sharing that. I think a lot of people don't know who he is. A lot of people look at gospel or Christian artists and inspirational artists, and they anticipate that because you sing about God or because you sing about heaven, you just have a heavenly life all the time.
Mm,
And I think that a lot of times we as people can sometimes look at people who we think should have it together
yeah.
and just automatically throw their judgment. And like you said, he was very authentic, very sweet, very mentoring to you. Um, listen, I don't know. I ain't never met the man nor his child. Okay, I take that back. I met Kurt. I haven't met his child. But every interaction I've had has always been amazing as well. So I'm with you on that, Jeffrey. So we are for Kirk at this on this one. We are, yeah, Kirk stands. I'm sorry, I just had to say that because everyone else, every time I look online, I see everyone talking about the negative and no one's giving the positive. So I appreciate you giving the positive and wanted to just say with Purple Couch, I always try to be positive. This is what it's about. So thank you for bringing that whole spirit right here. Woo, that took me off course. But now here's my next question. You were talking about how when you got on the show, you did not think you were gonna, you didn't think you could win. Yes, moving on. With you not being able to, with you not thinking that you could win. So because you had those moments, my question for you is, what kept you from quitting?
Yeah, man. So honestly, man, it was a couple conversations that happened the first week while I was there. And one was with uh, Big Jim Wright, who is passed away since then. But he was the music director for the show. And and I remember the last rehearsal that we had before the first tapings. I asked Big Jim, I said, well, what can I do to improve my performance? And he said, well, Geoffrey, you seem like a nice guy. He said, but if you don't find some confidence, they're going to send you home. And literally, that was a jolt to me, because to be honest, the whole time I'm there, like, kind of sheepishly, like, I don't deserve to be here. How did I get in the top 20 to all these other people? And literally, that conversation just showed me that it's like, no, there is something on the inside of me. There is a reason why I'm here. And what's needed is simply my confidence to know that God brought me here for a reason. There was one other thing, man. My little cousin, she had to be like 10 years old, probably. And she had called me, and she asked me, she said, do you think you're gonna win? And I said, well, I don't know. She said, well, do you want to win? I said, well, yeah, I would like to. She says, well, think winning, 10 years old. And literally that was just another one of those conversations like, okay, you know what I'm saying? And so
It sounds like she should be a manager. I just want to let you know.
no, man, literally she said, think winning. And I think like that's a word for all of us, you know what I'm saying? Because sometimes we count ourselves out because we don't think we're qualified. But if God put you in that space, you have a gift to release and you need to think winning.
Amen. Now we're going to go into the music. I have first question for you. Favorite song or secular song?
Okay.
That was a word. Somebody said that's a word.
Favorite secular song. I'm going to say people may not even know this song.
If they don't know it, you got to sing it.
I'm going to say Love Me Still by Shaka Khan. Man.
You going to hit a little bit of it for us? No, you're going to let them know what it is.
Oh, sure. Okay.
For the people who don't know, I'm just asking.
Yeah. So it just goes, here is my hand for you to hold. Here's the part of me they have not sold. I wander far, I've had my fill, but I love you now. Do you love me still?
Yeah,
man. Powerful, man. Powerful
yes, I used to
bro.
sing background for a lady who did Shaka Khan impersonations.
Wow.
So that's why I'm like, go ahead. Just give a little bit.
The song. So I would say that song by Shaka, probably any song by Anita Baker. You know what I'm saying? She's just like definitely one of the GOATs. So we could go on and on, but yeah.
Oh, who's your vocal Bible?
Okay. Donnie McClurkin, Fred Hammond, definitely Donnie and Fred. Those are like top two as it relates to like my biggest vocal influences. Donnie, Kirk, Kim Burrell.
Okay, what about Karen?
So Karen Clark Sheard to me is definitely one of the greatest, but in terms of the voices that I have personally pulled from the most, it would be those three.
You say she's in the book,
man,
she's just not the Bible.
Give Kim Burrell their props too, because she is the mother of us all. I mean, vocally in our generation, her influence spans everywhere. You don't have a Brandy if you don't have a Kim Burrell or Whitney Houston for that matter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so anyway, I could get on my soapbox with Kim, but
listen, this is the soapbox show, okay?
Yeah, man. I just feel like we need to give people their props. You know what I'm saying? Because I think sometimes, you know, when people's name isn't in lights, you know what I'm saying, for a minute, or they don't have a big song or something else, we just kind of, I don't want to say cast them to the side, but we just kind of, you know, out of sight, out of mind. But man, I have just had this conviction that literally Kim Burrell is a like once in a generation voice, not just because of what she's able to do with her voice, but the way that literally she has influence between her and Whitney Houston. They have really influenced the whole generation of vocalists, gospel and secular. Absolutely. And then of course, you know, we got to give Brandy her props because she's influenced in another generation as well. But she was influenced by them. And so I think we have to just, you know, give people their props.
I love it. Okay. Well, since we're talking about giving people their props, see how this all just works out when you have an organic conversation, people? I'm going to give you your props. So for all of you who don't know why, this year, Good Friday is tomorrow, and the show fell on a Thursday. And for most of you all who know me, I grew up in church. If you don't know me, I grew up in church. My mom plays the organ and piano in church, so I've grown up literally in church my whole life. Because of that, whenever Easter time comes, I just want to say something about Jesus, do my Easter speech. So with that, I was going through my Easter speeches and stuff and going through music, and I stumbled across a song called Jesus. Somebody saying she plays well. Thank you. Yes, my mom does play well. Thank you. She plays. I think she plays amazing. And yes, and she has one of the best voices to me in the world. She's my vocal Bible. Y'all don't know her, but she's my vocal Bible. Hey, mama, I love you. Clearly, I'm a mama's boy. But with that, with all that, I saw Jesus and I saw and I heard Jesus, and it made me go and look through the rest of your catalog. I am so big on people, and I tell people all the time, if you see an artist, if you hear an artist that you enjoy, don't just look at the one song that got you feeling good. Go through their whole catalog. And I hope that after this is over, you all will go check out this way. This way. Okay. Yes. Geoffrey's whole catalog. See his music. He's been releasing albums with Jesus. I know we're almost out of time for you with you, but I want to ask you for this album, you have like See Revival. The name of the album, guys, is See Revival. It is available everywhere. It is available on iTunes, any social media platform. But with it, you put out this album with these this visual album because you have videos attached to it. I know it was a lot of time and effort because when I do this, you do this. When we do this, it's a lot of work getting stuff together, doing videos and music and recording and having time frames and stuff to release them, advertising, marketing plans. But my question to you is, outside of all of that, what was the fire that made you go back into the studio to then record this amazing album?
Wow, man. I think the biggest thing for me with this particular album as it relates to the fire for it was a sense of mission, and I think a sense of call, because, man, to be honest, bro, this was the first full-length album that I've actually done independent. And so me and my brothers, we came together, basically formed our own label type situation.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And so for us, like, we had obviously grown up doing music and, doing things like that together. But this was like one of those first things that we did was like, man, like, we're coming together. This is a professional, high quality record that we're doing. This ain't just we're doing something for the city. You know what I'm saying? Like we did those things like years ago, but it was like now we were coming into a different space. But I think, man, just, even beyond those relational dynamics of like with me and my brothers, which was an absolute joy. And I'm excited to be making records with them for the rest of my life. But I think that just the sense of call that, like, man, people need to know, like, two things, man, as we were praying for this album. It was like, God, like, they help people see your nearness to us, like help people see that you're near to us, and then also help people to see the access that we have to you. And, man, that's what every song on this record is really for, that people will know two things: that God is near, and that in Christ you have access to God. And that means the possibilities for your life, the possibilities for your business, the possibilities for your family, the possibilities for your music career, the possibilities are endless because God is limitless.
All right. And then last question, and we are going to go to commercial break, guys. I think it's the last question. I don't know, unless Geoffrey started going off some more. He's going to fire me from hosting with him again.
Oh, good, man.
My next question for you, I know we haven't finished this, but who is your best friend from Sunday's Best?
Wow. That's a very interesting question. To be quite honest, I don't know if I have one. So this is why I say that. Wait.
You don't have a psycho mate that was just like,
wait,
come on.
So this is why I say that. We were all incredibly close on the show. Like, literally all 20 of us, it was just like this, like we just clicked. But I do think that over the past 7 years, because it's been so long, I know I have not been intentional enough about keeping those friendships going. And so we still communicate here and there, but in terms of the depth of relationship that was there before, that's not there as much now. And again, that's not on, it wasn't like nothing bad happened.
No,
it wasn't on anybody. But I think it's just, time goes by and people get busy and stuff. But even thank you for asking me that, man, because that even just reminds me, I need to be more intentional.
So that's what I'm getting ready to do. So since this is Good Friday, and since we are getting ready to end your segment, um, Easter is all about the resurrection, or it should be. Happy resurrection to those who don't say Easter. Whatever you celebrate, happy whatever. But with that being the case, with it, you have to think about people, and you start to think about things and holidays and stuff like that. And with the question that I just asked you, I'm going to ask you that last thing is going to be your legacy. But I will say, is there one person or two or three people who you personally from your cycle would like to use this platform to give you're the homie. We may not have spoken, but I still love you. If I haven't reached out, be checking for my call, be looking at your call ID. It's coming. If not next week, in a couple weeks, a few months, I will be checking. Is there anybody you want to, and not even just Sunday's Best, anybody you want to just connect and just say, hey guys, I'm here, and yeah, who are personal to you.
Wow, man. Yes, sir, man. So from Sunday Best, man, like I said, man, literally there was this closeness that I think all of us had, so I think for me, man, it's really doing the work and just even reaching out, not even just to say one or two, but even all of them. But I would say, man, shouts out to William Demps, who was on Sunday Best Top 20 with me. This dude is a phenomenal artist, phenomenal songwriter. Actually, the last track on my first album, Kingdom Live, he actually wrote the title track called Kingdom. And he had actually wrote that song. And when we were opening up the submissions process, man, he sent me that track. I was like, bro, this is crazy. And so I'm excited for more people to see, like, not just with William, but I mean, literally, like, bro, so many from that season who were all incredible. To be honest, bro, some of them, I almost wish me and my brothers could like produce albums for them because they're that incredible. And so, who knows what's going to happen.
Oh, I know I'm sorry. Before we go to the last question. Oh, I have to ask this because if I don't, I'm going to kick myself in the head. Okay. So I have a group on Facebook called Black Underground Singers and Songwriters for indie singers and songwriters in general. They are watching today. Hey guys. With that being the case, we just reached over 500 members. So slowly growing, slowly doing well. Of course, you're more than welcome to sign on in and join. With that, for the singers and songwriters out there who are looking to write music, who are looking to submit music, you just said something really key. You said the submission process. So my question to you is, when you are an independent artist, how would you be able to submit your works? And this is for everyone who's listening. If you want to write for someone, this is how you go about it. Can you please explain the process of how people can submit songs in general, and then if you want to put how you do your process, but just so people can get an idea,
Yes, sir. Yeah, man. So to be honest, man, every artist, every label kind of does it differently. And so you have some labels who will literally kind of open it up, to their contacts. And then of course you have artists who will do the same. And then you got some artists who is like, no, I'm gonna write all of my own stuff. And so I don't really need to hear anything else because that's just not my vibe. So for artists like me, I kind of like to do a combination. So they're the songs that God gives me, and then I like to open it up also to other writers who I know. But I think the biggest thing is connections. The biggest thing is like relationships. And so especially if you're trying to like push songs within gospel, gospel music is not like some like secular industries or even like contemporary Christian, where they have these like big publishing houses where literally you can push your song to the publishing house, they can sign you on with them, and then they'll push your songs. gospel doesn't have that kind of like infrastructure. And so it's really all about the people that you know, the artists that you know. And so the biggest thing that I would recommend if you are trying to write, especially for gospel artists, is that you would get plugged into gospel music conventions. And so that's like the National Convention of Gospel Choirs and Courses, Gospel Music Workshop
of America,
yeah,
GMWA.
exactly. You even have
Church of God in Christ.
Yeah, like
National Baptist Day Convention.
Yeah, man, like getting plugged in, even like Hampton Ministers Conference, getting plugged in with those kinds of gatherings, because those are actually spaces. So honestly, so like for instance, the album that I just had that came out, like 3 or 4 of those songs were actually written by songwriters who I met at a music convention. And so we the relationships there. Some of them, the song on my record, Strong Tower, the writer of that song, Isaac Cates, he had presented it 10 years ago. And we had heard the song there, and literally it stuck with me that entire time. So when we were preparing to do this record, I'm like, I got to record that song. And so I think that especially within gospel music, connecting with gospel music conventions is probably the best route to build the connections and the relationships you need to be able to submit music.
Amen. I appreciate that. You guys, we are going to say thank you so much. You all can follow Geoffrey Golden down there on Instagram. It's Geoffrey D. Golden on Instagram. I was it everywhere, correct? Geoffrey D. Golden is everywhere.
Yeah, and man, my Facebook has been hacked for like 2-3 weeks, and so I still don't know what's happening. So once all that's worked out, people can definitely follow me on Facebook as well, Geoffrey D. Golden. These folk been posting some of anything. I don't even know what.
Everything that's ungodly, they've been posting.
Goodness, I'm telling you, I'm like, come on, Facebook. But anyway,
here's my question: what song did you sing for the Hackers?
What do you say?
What's the song you sing for the Hackers?
What's the song I sing for the Hackers? I don't know if there's a song, but when I tell you, I don't know if I've ever thought to myself, like, these people don't want to meet me in the streets. I don't know if I've ever thought that to myself before until this situation. And I don't even know what country these people live in, to be honest with you. But anyway, God is good. It's going to work out. You know, my friends have been calling me, laughing, you know what I'm saying, about everything that's happening. So I guess there's something redeeming about it.
Yes. You are not alone. Hey. Well, thank you so much, Geoffrey. This was an amazing and refreshing conversation. You guys, we're going to get ready to let Geoffrey go, and we're going to prepare for our next in-studio guest, Mr. Algeron Wright. Thank you so much, Geoffrey. I hope that we can have you back. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Did you enjoy yourself?
Man, absolutely, man. Anytime, let me know.
Will do. And we want to say thank you again. And also, can you do with me just give a hey to all the supporters for the Purple Couch and all the supporters of Geoffrey as well. All the names he called out tonight. Hey. And I can't remember every name, but I remember the most important names, which is Rebecca and Ava.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, you guys. Thank you. Have an amazing day, guys. We're going to go to commercial break and be back. Have a great day, guys. And thank you so much, Geoffrey. Oh, my word. Give us 5 minutes. We'll be back. Yeah, or not 5 minutes. You know what I mean. All righty. Ooh.
Twice fried porterhouse steaks. Available Friday from 12 to 6 in Los Angeles, California. Marinated fresh, frozen, and then fried. Marinated fresh and then frozen overnight. This process takes 2 days. All orders must be in by Wednesday. All deposits and orders must be in by Wednesday to ensure that you have an amazing meal. Treat yourself to something special, something new, something delicious. Order today.
Hey guys, this is Kal Marshell, and I am so glad that you guys are joining us for a Purple Couch Conversation. We have Algeron Wright. He is a gospel music rising star who is getting ready to blow up. Yeah. So y'all know that I love music. You all know that I love to have inspiring stories. And you all know that I personally love just great freaking people. And I think I got a great freaking person right here.
I'm awesome. How are you?
I am doing well. First of all, thank you so much for coming to the Purple Couch.
Of course.
And having this conversation.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
April 1st. Isn't that hilarious?
I know. April Fool's Day. April 1st.
You
A
know,
whole lot going on.
you know, right before Easter.
Yeah.
Most people take April Fools as a day to run pranks, jokes, and do a bunch of crazy, just different things that they normally wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And I would normally have an R&B artist, a secular artist. I personally grew up like in Chicago, Illinois, in church. My mom plays the organ. There are so many people in this world that are inspired.
Absolutely.
And they live inspiring lives and give inspiring messages.
Absolutely.
Growing up in your church,
Yes.
what was the musical culture?
You know, that's an interesting question. I was able to get a little mixture of the Methodist, African American Methodist
AME.
culture, AME,
Yes.
and the Pentecostal culture. So my parents, they were members of a Pentecostal church, the Garden of Prayer Church.
Okay. Woo-woo, Garden of Prayer.
That was a small church that grew really big, and then I would also go a Sunday or two to my grandmother's church, and she was AME. So it was a great mix because I was able to hear hymns, and you know, as little kids, you're like, oh, what is this? But I paid attention to the hymns, so I was able to sing, learn hymns. But then you go to the Pentecostal church, and you hear the, hand clapping, foot stomping, and they're rolling and they're jumping. And so, of course, that was a more interesting service. But let me tell you something about the Methodist church versus the Pentecostal. We're home in about an hour. You were,
My grandfather knew.
listen, it was a short service. So that was the good.
Get up, sit down, get up, sit down.
That's
do your
right.
song and hymn, go home.
That's right. We went to the Pentecostal church, which was my actual church. It was about a 3-4 hour service.
You come on Sunday, you leave on Wednesday.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and then you come back on Friday.
Pack a snack.
And a sleeping bag.
In a sleeping bag. And be ready for like another service. But I loved every minute of it too. So the good thing about going to both churches, and now as a songwriter and as a musician, I was able to get the job because I could play at a Methodist church. I could
Wait.
wait.
You play?
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on now. When you say play, are you talking drums? Are you talking about piano? Or are you talking about full B3?
I play organ and piano, but I don't consider myself a Twinkie Clark or one of those people. But I
You
played
can do enough to get by.
I played for churches for about 14, 15 years.
Listen, I am not mad at you. I used to play for churches. I
So,
was a
yeah.
drummer. If anybody knows me, I have awful rhythm. But I was a drummer.
Oh Lord, I wouldn't.
Oh, listen, my rhythm is so bad. I listen.
But I was able to play, and so I was able to learn, hymns, and I could play at a Methodist church, United Methodist Church, Pentecostal church.
What's your favorite hymn?
My favorite hymn is I like "It Is Well with My Soul."
That's my favorite hymn.
Yeah, I like "It Is Well with My Soul." She was in Shirley Roth's wedding, and Patty was in the wedding, and Loretta Devine. She said, Patty said, "What are you wearing?" She had on like this little necklace. And she was like, Patty said, "What are you wearing?" Take that off. And pull out her jewelry. 'Cause they all had their jewelry and stuff. and Patty let her wear her jewelry. And before Patty was leaving, I was like, oh yeah, I need mine.
I need that
I need that back. I need that back.
Okay. Did you forget? Did you forget?
Give me my lashes too. Oh, I love the Bible.
So, your favorite hymn?
It is well. It is well.
That's crazy. It's my grandfather's favorite song. He's like 92.
Life will teach you that. Life will cause you to say, you know what, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. In other words, it's almost like, you know what, I've been through some things, I've seen some things, but it's all good.
No. I want to know.
Oh, shoot.
You ever feel sure somebody when you were directing? Because you were a director in church for like 14 years, right? Like, who was your directorial inspiration? When I was a child, I knew it was people who directed in church and directed choirs and directed symphony orchestras and directed so many things and all these conductors and people. Who gave you your inspiration to say, when I become an adult, I want to do that?
You know what's crazy? I never saw myself as directing, but there was a lady. So first I'll go someone that I was able to tangibly see or touch rather, and then I'll go to someone in the industry that I looked. But there was a lady from Savannah, Georgia that would come and visit our Pentecostal church. And man, baby, she could direct with her shoulders, her arms, and just to see how the choir just paid attention to her every move was just crazy to me. But when I think about industry directors, I have to go to Chicago and I have to shout out, and I wouldn't call her like old school, but Angela Spivey.
Oh, I love Angie Spivey. Hey, Angie Spivey, I love her.
Auntie.
Oh!
Angie.
It shouldn't be in the church.
It shouldn't be.
Oh,
it shouldn't be.
I love Angie.
It's
Pastor Angela
Pastor
Spivey.
Angela Spivey, I love her, and of course Ricky Dillon. He did his thing. He's a showman.
He is.
With his, but I'm sure there's others that they've learned from and they've mentored. But I'm just talking about people for me that I saw.
How about anybody local?
There were a lot of directors in our church. I don't want to get in trouble.
Maybe in the church you all visit.
No. No. So my mom had a quartet group when she was pregnant with me.
Wait.
So my mom
Quartet.
said,
Oh my Lord. What you know about quartet?
oh, my granddaddy had a quartet group with my aunties.
Who was he with? What group?
Well, it was his namesake was Charlie Young and the Morning Glories.
Okay.
They were my inspiration, and they traveled. And every time he came down south, because he lived in New York, every time he came down south, I was on the front row. Didn't know anything about singing.
But you knew that was
Yeah, and to this day, my aunties, they don't sing as much anymore. But they're like, nephew. Now they're like, you should put us, let us sing. We'll sing on one of your albums, and it's like, wow. I grew up watching them.
I have the same. I feel it. My aunt.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
It's
like
so crazy.
Like now they say, hey, we need to do something together. To stay current is to be aware of what's going on. And so the God that I sing about, the God that I try to represent, of course, he knows all, he sees all, and he'll touch your heart with lyrics, he'll touch your heart with thoughts, and gives you inspiration. Then, of course, things that you go through life, you begin to write about. But the biggest thing is to stay current, is to be aware of what's going on, and to be aware everything is literally online. You can get to it, and then you decipher what's truth and what's fiction. And so between your own personal experiences, between your God-inspired thoughts, and then being aware of what's going on, I feel like you can stay current with a current message, and then be able to get that message out to the world. And if getting that message out is through online shows, social media, those type of things, then that's what you have to do. Whereas back in the day, as you mentioned, the Caravans and the Ike Turners, there were certain TV shows that they had to go on
to make it.
Well, now it's current. We have the Purple Couch, and we have other
Shameless
shows
plug that I'm not at
that are on social media that allows artists, musicians, actors, athletes to come on and be a part. And so the world is open. The opportunity is there. And so that's what I do. I just try to take advantage of those opportunities.
I found you on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and I heard a song that you did, which also made me go back and look into your other music in your catalog. Which, to everybody out there, if you have an artist that you hear and you hear one song that you like, make sure you do what? Check their catalog.
Check the catalog.
Go and like other stuff. Go and pick up other stuff, because your support
Yes.
helps every independent and signed artist stay signed and stay able to deliver amazing music that you love.
Yes.
So make sure when you hear it, don't just pick the one song and go get everything.
My baby needs some Pampers.
Hallelujah.
I don't got no babies, but if I did, they would need Pampers. So
You do have a baby. You do. You have a house. You have a car. All those are children
Thank
in
you.
some type of way.
And they need Pampers.
And shoes, clothes. You know,
All of that.
All that.
All of that.
So, when I looked through your catalog, the reason I brought all that up,
Sure. Yeah.
there was a song that touched me a little bit differently. And I wanted to ask you how the song came to be. And if you don't mind, could you give a little snippet of it?
Wait a minute. What song is this?
I heard the song "I Believe in Miracles," and that's why I wanted you to give you don't have to sing it for real, but just let you hear the words. Give them a little something, or the lyrics if you want to just speak them out and do some spoken words.
Sure. Well, the lyrics are, I believe in miracles, I believe in God. And it just says, there is nothing that God can't do. What he's done for others, he'll do for you. I found out there's no failure in our God. I believe in miracles because I believe in God. I was probably 13, 14, something, my first song. And it was a message, a very inspiring message that my former pastor, who's now deceased, preached. And it really touched me because I just thought about all the miracles, all the blessings that my family has received, everything we've gone through, sickness and just other things, survival, and how we were able to accomplish those things and come through those things, and so those lyrics still ring true to me today. And somebody would say, well, how can you still sing that, believe in miracles? Again, I lost two brothers and dealt with some other things in life, but I still believe that there's purpose for me. I still believe that I'm still here because there's work that I have to do. And
I
so
believe that.
that's how that song was kind of birthed years ago as a child, just listening to an inspiring message, and didn't know anything about songwriting, and went home and wrote my first song. That's good. That's where it starts. Wow, you took it way back.
At this moment right now,
Mm-hmm.
what's going through your mind?
Gratefulness. I'm in LA, getting to see a longtime friend and meeting new friends, and I'm just thinking about how my life is peaceful in the midst of pandemic, in the midst of chaos. How I'm finding peace within myself. I'm finding peace within my truth. I'm finding peace within who I am, and who I would like people to know that I am, and don't care who they think that I am. But just having peace in who, you know, God made me to be, and I'm okay with that.
How else do you exercise your faith outside of music?
I exercise my faith in many ways, you know, whether it's a secular job, whether, I'm gonna be honest, whether it's getting in my car, getting from one destination to the next, you know. I remember one morning heading to my secular office, and a lady came in my lane off the interstate and slammed into me. I remember heading to an award show with my parents, and a drunk driver came down the wrong side of the interstate on I-20, smashed into the car, and how we all came out without a scratch or a bruise. And so I exercise my faith when I get in the car. When I got on the freaking plane today, you know, I touched the plane, and that's my faith, because I don't take anything for granted. I exercise my faith when, you know, I got music out right now, and so, you know, just believing and exercising my faith that whatever I need worked out is going to be worked out. And so, non-music related, just everyday life, you know, love, joy, happiness. Yeah.
I will trust in the Lord.
That's a good one.
I will trust in the Lord.
Sound too good.
No.
That's good. Sing some more. Sing some more. Until I what?
Till I die.
That's right.
I'm gonna trust in the Lord.
That sounds great.
I'm gonna trust in the Lord. You're being really nice, but I feel it right now. Trust in the Lord till I die.
Facts. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Speaking of trusting in the Lord, when's the moment that you truly trusted God?
Wow, what a deep question. What a deep question. A moment that I truly trusted God. I had so many moments. But I remember when my second brother passed, I thought I was not going to find joy, peace, or happiness again. But because my faith said that I would get through this, I had to trust that he knows what's best. And I know sometimes it can become cliche-ish for people to be like, oh, no, I miss my brothers. I've lost 2 brothers, and it would be crazy to say, oh my God, the Lord knows and all that stuff. But the fact of the matter is, that's how I find solace, is that he does know, and that he we all have a path to go, and we're going to leave here, and those type of things. So all those things allow me to trust in the Lord that, again, I said it earlier, that I still have purpose, and I can't stay in a place of grief. I can't stay in a place of depression. I can't stay in a place of unhappiness and loneliness, because I have work to do.
Christian artists deal with depression and loneliness?
Of course.
How is that?
Because, of course, the Bible says, happy are the people whose God is Lord, and the joy of the Lord is our strength. sometimes I can speak for me. Sometimes I've acted in my own strength. And I think whenever I act in my own strength, it's like I tend to find myself in a situation that I got to try to get myself out of. And there are some things that, you know, he knows what we can handle. So there are times where I put more on me and he had to rescue me, or, you know, he put somebody in my life to help rescue me. So yeah, there are times where even the depressed moments, I feel like there are times where, you know, sometimes we think we want something and then we get it and we don't realize that it's not what
I
we
wanted
should
this
have.
brand new Bentley and it was lemon.
Yeah, that's pretty much. You know, sometimes lemons can be cars or people.
Yeah, and then you have to try to find out I wouldn't make lemonade with no sugar.
Exactly.
Just with the honey and iced tea.
You know, we tend to say, I want. Then we get them like, Lord, take them back.
I totally went into a state of just asking God to supply me with what it is that He wants me to have.
Yeah.
When I stopped asking God for what I wanted and just said, Lord, what you know I need to have, just in, because what I want may not be the best thing for me.
Yeah.
You know?
Or give me a heart, give me a mind to want what I need to want and stuff like that. Because that's the hardest part, is we want everything. We want everything that we can't have. And so, you know, and some things we get, some things we don't.
What's your dream car?
People ask me that, you know.
You got one?
I don't want to have one. I love Jaguars.
The lifestyle, per the Bible, is modest. But then when you see some lifestyles, they are completely unmodest. But everyone is able to have nice things, and I'm not. Listen, I can.
That's an ongoing debate, but who determines what's modest?
Wait, hold on, wait. Now listen, I'm not going to that. I'm not going to none of
But
that.
I'm just saying, who determines what's modest? That's not a debate, but it's like what's modest? You know?
So here's my thing. As a Christian artist, what do you splurge on?
What do I splurge on?
Yes, like somebody might splurge in the house. What's your splurge?
I'm gonna be honest. I probably splurge on other people, and I do like nice restaurants. I like that.
Favorite food?
Seafood. Anything seafood. Anything seafood. You say seafood, you got me.
Shellfish?
I don't care what it is.
Oh.
I love seafood. Yes.
How many times has your faith had to grow back?
Quite a few times. Even as a
You
gospel.
lost it?
Almost. Yeah.
Almost.
Let me tell you something. People will cause you, and you can allow people to cause you to lose faith when you put your faith in people. And that's why I said sometimes, you know, we stop putting our faith and our trust in God, and we put it in people sometimes. We even take it from ourselves. Like, we don't have faith in ourselves. We have faith in people more than we have faith in ourselves. And that's not good either. You know, because people will disappoint you.
And have you waiting.
And when they show up, get out the car late. Or they just take their time.
You all right?
Or want you to apologize. I've known people that have done things to someone else. The person finds out and they tell the person, are you ready to apologize? And it's like, are you kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, so anyway, people can cause you, whether it's relationships, whether it's friendships, whether it's on the job. There are people that have caused me to just be like, you know what? There is no way I can be this kind, this nice, this giving, and this is what you do. So to keep me from being a terror, it bothers me, you know, because either you're going to go in on the situation, or you're going to let it affect you, or you're going to let it go. And so I've learned balance. And so that's why when you ask me about, you know, my peace and what I'm thinking, that's where I am. I'm just at a place of just like, it's all good. Like, I'm just chilling. I'm watching God work. I'm watching Him bring new people in my life. I'm just chilling, and I'm just laying aside anything that's heavy, aggravating weight, and I'm allowing the new to come into
Because
my
when
life.
it's up, then it's
That's right.
stuck.
That's right.
Per Cardi B.
Oh, Cardi B.
Oh,
Oh,
I would do it without choke.
okay, I can't do it.
I can't do
I
it.
don't know how to do it. My tongue won't let me. But you know,
Amen.
if it's the tongue, I don't know what it is.
It's in the throat. It's like the it's the rolling. Like
Is
the,
it the throat? Oh,
Yeah,
the tongue.
it's the Latin.
Okay, I can't do none of
You
that.
gotta get all.
Oh,
Ah!
oh, shit.
You heard it here first. No Purple Couch Conversation. Oh Lord.
I did it. I did it.
Was that your first for real?
Yeah, I could never do it.
See,
Mine comes out as it's a little weird.
well, it worked that time.
It worked for the people.
Come on, somebody.
Y'all did it.
Look at the Lord. Look at
Y'all
the Lord.
did.
He must have knew that I
I'm
needed
gonna
an
try.
exclusive.
I'm gonna try it again later.
Just not on nobody else's show. I
Just
bet not
the-
see you do it okay on nobody else's couch. Not red, blue, white, or purple.
No,
Ain't nobody got
just the
purple
purple couch.
Yes.
Just the purple
Just
couch.
this purple
couch.
couch.
This purple
Right.
couch.
This purple couch.
Which is a very comfortable couch, everybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You have no. You are the first guest to actually say something like that. So thank you. I appreciate that. People don't even
It's a real couch. It's not graphics. It's a real couch.
a real purple.
It's a real purple
Couch.
couch. And it's comfy for real.
You know. So let me tell you about the reason why I got the purple couch.
Okay.
I've only seen one other person. They know who they are.
Tell us. We want to know who house you've been to.
I can't spill tea on the purple couch.
I'm putting him under the interview.
Y'all see
Tell
that?
us who it is.
He gonna have a red couch next week.
Already got it. He still ain't gonna tell us. Google celebrities with purple couches.
Oh,
Y'all know who he talking about.
Oh,
He
you know
ain't gonna
what?
tell the tea.
I'm trying to think.
Oh,
So you all might just get a chance to see
that would be dope.
2 purple couches this year.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
And that's what I say.
Okay.
We
All
gonna-
right.
We got
Tell
things
me
in the
okay.
works.
But I will find out when we end this.
Yes,
show.
and then what you do is when he finds out, you all go to his Instagram.
Make sure I don't tell them. I promise I won't.
No, go to his Instagram
Okay.
and y'all try to get him to tell y'all. And
Do
you know
that.
how you do that? You go there by you like his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Comment underneath his thing. Tell me.
Yeah.
Just press tell me.
And I'm gonna tell you. Tell me.
Tell me.
Hashtag tell me.
Now, guys, we're in for a treat. We have Algeron Wright. And he's getting ready to play the new game. Steal My Song.
Uh-oh. Okay. Steal my song.
This game consists of you receiving 1 to up to 3 words of a song. And you gotta try to steal my song.
So I received 2 to 3 words of a song, and I gotta guess the song?
You gotta go one with the next rest of it.
Oh, shoot. I suck at this. I gotta say the rest of the lyrics?
Whatever you think it is.
Oh,
So
Lord.
I'm gonna give you an example, and you can.
I'm gonna suck at
This
this.
is gonna be so fun. And this is gonna be our.
Quit. If I don't know.
Well, actually, wait. You got help.
Okay, I got help.
You got help. You got 2 lifelines.
Okay. There's some people in the studio.
We have a live studio audience, guys.
Yes. There's some people in the studio that's helping me.
Yeah, I'm gonna let your team help you out.
You know what got me? Y'all got me?
Do y'all got it? They ain't saying nothing. They pantomiming over there. Y'all hear that? Y'all?
Look in my eyes and say you got me.
Okay, y'all heard that. I'm gonna make sure y'all heard.
Thank you, Marie. After I shared my stuff.
Oh my God! Steal my song.
Okay.
One glad.
Morning, when this life is over. Okay, that one I got.
That's how.
All
That
right.
that was the example.
Ooh, I'll fly away.
Ha ha ha.
Okay, all right.
All right, now.
They couldn't help me on that one. One could, but there was one in the audience that couldn't help.
If y'all saw what was happening.
Oh my God.
It's fun here at the Purple Couch. Is it not fun? Are you having a good time?
I'm having a great time.
Like for real. You're not just...
No. And I'm enjoying myself.
Well, abracadabra for me.
They don't have to talk to me.
That was my tongue, by the way. Abracadabra.
But hey, as long as God hears it, it's cool. with me.
Come on.
You know, or Aladdin or something like that.
All right, so here we go. First, let's let the people know. What is your favorite era of music?
So if I have to look at R&B and hip hop, I love the 90s.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know, I love the
What
90s.
about gospel?
Gospel is a huge range because I can go between. I love some of the folks that are out now, but I love the caravans from back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
All the way to the choir music, Hez and Donald and John P. Key and and now I'm a Leandria, gosh, I'm still a Shirley Caesar fan, Luther Barnes fan, Jonathan McReynolds, Zaccardi.
So all of you all he's talking about, I want to say, hey, I love you all. I listen to you all. Bring your saved selves on the Purple Couch.
That's right.
First
My
class
label
award.
mates, Ernest Pugh and Zaccardi and Pastor Mike Jr. and Maurice Griffin and all these folks. These are my people. I really,
On the Purple Couch with us, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
back is still my son, because I want to make sure they understood that.
Okay.
So, y'all, if he say he don't understand and he done got lost or something like that, y'all done heard his resume.
I got help.
Y'all know. Okay, here we go.
I got help.
There he is.
More. There is no way I can live without him. I would like to thank my lifeline. Oh my goodness, I got help.
Oh, okay. You got.
Aw.
Oh, that's a ding, ding, ding.
Somebody's getting a good Christmas and Easter gift.
Baby, okay.
Somebody's getting
All right.
good Christmas. Somebody's getting a good gift. I appreciate that. He's so humble too.
He would.
All right. He would. Nah, he wouldn't. He would not let me fall. He would not come down.
You already said you're not let me fall. We're gonna take your first one, but that it was the right one. I'm glad it was in your heart somewhere.
Which one was the right one?
The secondary.
He would not come down.
He would not come down from the cross. This is a Easter resurrection. I tried to give you a little bit of something for the.
But I got it though, right? I got it right.
I'm gonna let y'all decide that.
I got it right. I got it right. He wouldn't come down. That's what I'm saying.
He wouldn't fall. You say wouldn't fall.
Well, yes.
That's the song too.
Yeah, but he didn't come down either.
No, he did not come. He wouldn't
didn't
fall.
fall.
He didn't come down, and he didn't crawl.
He didn't. None of that.
He got whooped.
He got up though. Yeah. What else you got for me?
We're gonna take it back again. Y'all ready? Because this is fun for me. There is.
There is
Uh-huh.
a name. There is a bomb in Gilead. Yes, all of that. I dare not try. Y'all can do that. Dr. Karen Clark.
Right.
But
That throat.
Listen.
That throat, that diaphragm. Karen Clark Sheard sings from her toenails.
Yeah. Yeah.
Karen or Brandy?
Really? Really? Karen or Brandy?
Oh, what about Kimberella?
Kimberella who?
Or Karen?
Now that's hard. That's hard.
See how it starts off. You can't do level shot.
That's hard because both of them are so strong in their own right. I don't think I could compare.
Are you a Clark Sister fan? I say most people love the Clark Sisters like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Because they have collaborated with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Who would you, if you were like in a Clark Sisters type of collaborate with everybody, who would be your dream secular collaboration? That's why I brought them up, because they have been able to really mold both worlds. And I wanted to know what would be your like R&B.
Yeah. I would love to do a song with Fantasia.
Barrino? Oh no,
I like
not Barrino. Her new name is.
I like Fantasia. I also like Fantasia. I love Anthony Hamilton. I know that's kind of old school. Avery, what is his name? Avery Wilson.
Yes.
He is amazing. I would love to do something. Of course, he would do he would do all the runs and stuff like that. And I would just, be the soulful. It's almost like my friend Maurice Griffin.
Yes, he's an amazing talent as well.
They can do all the runs, and I'll do the squalling and the soulful.
Oh, you got the soul.
I'll just,
you got that.
my throat.
But that
in the center.
What's that song I'm thinking
Right
of?
there.
What R&B song you sing? Like when
I'm a Luther person and a John Legend. Like I do them all day. I'll do them all day.
Who do you know?
I mean,
What would you know?
So amazing.
You don't give me a little nod with it.
No.
So amazing to me.
I gotta be prepared.
I actually for that I say a little shoulder rock. So amazing to be loved. You ain't gonna give me a little.
Yeah, I'm bopping.
You ain't gonna give me a little. Hey, y'all see the dance? There we go. He got a little bit. You know the dance.
Just a little bit.
That's what gives the life to the song. If you don't have it in your shoulders, if you can't shimmy when you do it.
But when I think of Luther, he just kind of stands and just.
That was a shimmy. That was a shimmy.
His outfit shimmy.
That was a shimmy.
He didn't really shimmy.
His spirit shimmy.
His throat shimmy.
Oh, the perfect guy.
He's still dishing. His throat shimmy.
What do you want the Lord to allow you to do?
I would love for my legacy to be that I've created music that is passed down from generation to generation, and that people are still lifted and encouraged by something that I said or wrote. That my name is mentioned even when the lights go down, even when I'm no longer quote unquote considered the hot thing because of age, because I've gotten older and now I'm in that stage of legendary status. I would just hope that my music continues to inspire, uplift, and that people, they want to do remixes on them and continue to sing them and keep them to a generation. That's what I would hope.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, we are going to take this moment to say thank you to Algeron Wright.
Thank you.
He has come upon this show. He has sat upon the marvelous purple couch,
I have.
which he says is comfortable.
It is.
Hey, y'all. And so because of that, we want to say thank you to you, and thank you to you for watching, sharing, and subscribing. We look forward to seeing you guys next Thursday. Peace, love, and what? Happiness.